to Winter. Guys, and that was Solas. I'm not gonna lie. That was perfect. Is that, it might sound cheesy, but that made it worth it. That made all the heartache, all the questions worth it. All the struggle to get there, to figure out what the time, like how long it took, like all of it. And I will save him if I can. I will do everything in my power. That end, the dreaming. So apparently we were actually lovers. I didn't know that. In a way, I'm kind of glad though, because I don't know if you could see, I know a lot of the other ones. Hey, there's actually somebody named Dorian in the thing. That's cool. That's strange. I wonder if that's on purpose. Reese! Reese is there too. That was Cole's friend. Oh man, that's really cool. But, sorry, I know I'm distracted. But no. It's so funny. Like, if you weren't paying extra attention to him, I think, in Inquisition regularly, if you didn't romance him, you wouldn't have maybe picked his, but there was just more closely. And now, I mean, he was one of the main, like, of the inner circle, but...
All this shit is weird.
What?
Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking? Led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
He threatened he'd name it something like that. Encourage him to write the book. I don't know. Maybe he probably would have done it anyway, but...
The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said,
Cassandra?
gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row.
She's trying to do
Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
She's trying to do Sarah's accent. This is awesome. I'm glad I waited through the credits.
The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever
She did not say that. Recording is still working.
Liliane enfolded Alphonse.
Oh, gall.
I always knew I could count on your support.
What?
The Count did not feel
Yep.
the bite of her poisoned dart. Even if it requires your death.
You're dead. Her voice. Oh, that's awesome.
Rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing.
What is she
He
doing?
flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
She thinks he's romantic? Oh. Really? Or is it just like, you know,
Cole
yeah.
moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says.
the words that are being said are actually pretty serious for some of them, but her attempting to do their accent is hilarious.
Do you place your herald above the law, ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management.
Poor fiscal management.
We are the law.
Nice. Oh, I didn't see it. It said to our fans. I'm sure it said thanks. This is the first time I've ever gone through the credits.
We left our mark on Adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening?
Yeah, I don't even, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, what's going on there? Who was she talking to?
The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sin.
Nice.
Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in
Oh
the
my gosh.
That is spot on, actually.
Yep, basically, yep. I hope Iron Bull's happy, you know?
The commander had the look of war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war.
What?
Cullen! That's Cullen!
That's Cullen! Did she didn't say her description yet, did she? I don't know. I think she did, actually.
The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N.
Her accent!
Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad
Her
time.
accent's spot on!
A toad? That's hardly
I was gonna
credible.
say, yeah, no. I don't think Dorian would do a toad, but her accent was like spot on.
The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never...
Alright, I haven't hit my controller in any time, so it went dark.
Wait, where am I?
Uh-oh.
Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my head, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he... I am reading the shit out of this.
Yes! Laughed, cried, reached out on social media, made fan art and cosplay and jokes. Thank you. Ah. Wow. Wow. That was great. Oh my gosh. Is it gonna go to the cliffhanger? Okay. I'm glad it ended that way. Okay. I'm actually gonna cut this recording and then I will be back in a second. You will probably notice I'm gonna splice it together, but my recording's been going on for way too long, so I'm gonna turn it off so it doesn't die. But you'll see me in a second. Okay, guys. I know this whole last couple of hours is probably gonna be pretty chopped up because I basically didn't stop playing. The recording went on for ages. But I flipping loved that. Flipping can't even handle it. That was insane. It went above and beyond all expectations. I didn't know. It sort of left us on a cliffhanger, but it was one... I feel like this should have perhaps... I don't know if this should have been included in the original game or not. You know what I mean? It's like... The other one ended with Corypheus, and this is like one of those, like, it's like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, sort of. Not really. It's not even, no, it's not really like that, but it's like... It's not an independent game built on the original, it is literally an extension of it. You could be happy having played the first one. I think unless you romance Solas, then you'd be pretty peeved about things. But no, I remember reading, there was something, I was like buying the DLC and like something popped up on like the internet that was like, you know, telling you like stuff that was like gonna be in it, but I was just kind of glancing at it and it said, or just, it was like, what was it? It was like the developers were saying, oh yes, it's gonna be 2 years in the future, something about Kunari, and it is going to possibly set up a future game. Or the future of Thetis. It's going to set up the future of Thetis. And I kind of assumed that meant, like, I don't know, because in Dragon Age, I mean, I guess you can take your save files, but you don't keep the same character ever. In like Origins 2 or, you know, Inquisition, you make a new character each time. But I don't know, is this going to be this seems like it's going to be the first one where you can keep, you're going to keep your Inquisitor. I'm going to keep Irika, you know? And that's insane. And I feel like I almost, in a way, I don't feel bad, but I feel like I'm getting more out of the experience because I romance Solas. In Inquisition, I felt like I got less of an experience. Because, for one thing, like, you kiss him, like, once, and then he, like, you know, breaks your heart, you know? And almost everybody else, let's just be honest, gets a sex scene, and Solas doesn't. But I feel like, I don't know when Irika must have slept with him, or whatever, because he made a joke about it in Inquisition, and then he broke your heart, you know? But I feel like with Solas of all people, it probably would have, I don't know if it would have cheapened it or not, or just made it kind of like a giggly thing, but it probably would have been fine. But, yeah, no, it's just that, I texted my friend, I was like, you have to freaking play Trespasser right now. No, so it's good to know that, like, Solas it wasn't just like a fling of some sort, and like it's so odd that like somebody could break through to him and make him realize like what is it with everybody, like if you didn't romance Solas, like maybe he just sees you as like a friend, or like what if you like remained aloof from him, you know? Like there seems like, what if you didn't do any of his missions or anything, you know? Like it's so interesting that, like, the next game is going to focus around this character that was actually your companion. And I don't know what the other Dragon Age games do, but Mass Effect doesn't do that. Like, your friends are, like, they're solid, like, the whole time with you. You don't have to worry about any of this. But Solas, I don't know. I feel like he's an irrational, intelligent guy. Like, he's insanely intelligent, like beyond what we could probably comprehend, you know, like what like Irika and like Cassandra and everybody could possibly comprehend. But he's still living in the past. Like for him, I guess he said he just woke up like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know how long the Inquisition technically was. So I guess like 3 or 4 years ago. 3 or 4, maybe 5. But by romancing him, you're kind of able to show him that, you know, we're real, because saying that we were like tranquil and knowing how regular people react to tranquil was like, it was like a big blow. It was like, oh my gosh, like it was said pretty casually, but it was like, oh my gosh, like people don't even consider tranquil people, you know? And so like to him, and I was just reading this book about like it was like dimension stuff, and it was like how like we look into the universe and like say like, you know, this is our measure of intelligence. This is how we say we're gonna encounter intelligent species, you know? But what if, and I guess I can't remember all of a sudden. Oh god, I forgot his name. It's not Bill Nye the Science Guy, it's the other one who's famous right now also. Black Science Guy, I guess you could say. That's what people say when they want to look him up on the internet. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I have an audiobook of one of his books, and he's talking about how our DNA is only like 1% removed from a chimpanzee, and we look at them, and what their most intelligent chimpanzee can do is something one of our toddlers can do. But what if there's an alien species out there? He was talking about how absurd it is for us to like decide what intelligence is, because what if there's another species out there who is 1% like above us? You know, like 1% removed, like higher in the chain of intelligence than we are. Like to them, we would be chimpanzees running around like slapping our faces, like doing stupid things, and the things that our most intelligent people can do, the most intelligent humans could do, would be something their toddlers could do. Like, and that just kind of blew my mind, and that's kind of what I was thinking of when he said that we were like the tranquil to him for a while, is that because for him he was so used to like, it was like being of two worlds, like, you know, like the Fade magnifies things incredibly, but who is he to say that he, I don't know, I'm going on a different subject now, but like it would be an incredible existence, but I don't see why we couldn't somehow, it would be incredibly difficult, but can't we just make it like coexist somehow, or make a certain area where like the Fade is, like make a certain area in the world somehow where like the Fade like can come through, but the veil still blocks it off in other parts, you know what I mean? And did all the elves really leave? Like all the Dalish and the city elves? And Briala, like how is she an agent of his? I almost assume so. And that like the ancient elvish rebellion, like, but I assume I would know about that as a Dalish elf. You know, like Erica would have known about some sort of agent of Fen'Haral thing, or like did the elves just like fade away because they were like afraid of repercussions? Because now there's an elf that has so much more power than anybody can possibly realize, who's like gonna destroy the world, and it's like, but he destroyed it already once, and it doesn't fix things. And he can't bring back. He can't bring back the ancient elves. He can't bring back the people who died, you know? But there has to be a way to maybe teach the current elves to access the Fade. Like, they aren't the same now. They've had like 1,000 years of being away from the Fade, you know? But I am completely satisfied with that. This has gone on for way too long, but I'm just trying to make sure that, like, I address things that I'm like, I was actually kind of miffed at the end of Inquisition. I don't know if you might have noticed. I might have said something, but I was just like, especially with the Solas thing. Like, I was just like, I don't like this. It's not good. This wraps all that up, answers all the questions. The Inquisitor, Erica, is fully aware of everything that's going on, and we are going to do our damnedest to save Solas and the world, with or without anybody's help. Exactly what she said. I'm so glad I made that choice at the end. So glad. Because from the beginning of this DLC, I was like, I feel like maybe we should disband, but I don't want to just roll over. But I don't want to be anybody's tool either. I don't want to serve anybody, because I feel like as the Inquisitor, I was sort of able to not be, like, the character was designed to not be corrupted, you know, like, we didn't become corrupted, I don't think, you know, sort of, I think, maybe you could have gone that route, but, no, but, like we've said, somebody needs to keep an eye on the Grey Wardens. Well, the Grey Wardens. Well, who's that? I don't know. You know, somebody needs to keep an eye on the mages. Templars. Well, that sucked. Who's somebody needs to keep an eye on the Templars? The Seekers. Well, that didn't work out. You know, every single power that was supposed to keep the others in check fell due to corruption. And the Inquisition got too big. And Solas said something about this a long time ago, that once it gets too big, you can't control it anymore. And I felt like, at that time, like it said, everybody who was part of the Inquisition went home knowing that they'd helped stop a great evil. If we'd have kept going, we might have burned people out, or they would have become more entitled. Again, that dream you see when you do the Templar route, or like the Fade dream or whatever that you see when you side with the Templars, is is something that I was watching, but I noticed, like, sort of the fear of that happening, or the beginnings of that happening, you know? And at the end, I actually didn't think about it at all really this whole time, but it might have been, like, floating around back there, but, like, the purpose of the Inquisition, when it was started, was to seal the breach in the sky and deal with Crifius. That was all it was supposed to do. And we did that. And so now we aren't... That was like the Divine Justinia's idea. I don't know how... We could maybe re-invoke a new Inquisition. I don't know. But I think that decision there at the end is going to affect the entire way the next game plays out, I think. Like, I'm not going to have massive forces at my command. But I will have my friends. And I will have, apparently, a new group of friends. I'm not sure. We're going to Deventer? I was kind of wondering if we were going to head to Deventer. I think I mentioned that once. Is that the next place we could go? Like, we've been to Olay, Feralden, you know, but we have not been to Deventer. But, yeah. This is crazy. Probably would have been really cool to play this as a Kunari. Like, if you were a Kunari Inquisitor, that would have been pretty cool. But, yeah, no, I should probably stop. I should probably stop talking. I don't know how many of you listened to it all the way to the end. If you did, thanks, I guess. No, listening to me ramble is great. You get a cookie. But, yeah. Oh, man, I am so excited. I feel like lighter, and I feel like I'm looking forward to the future. I'm not, like, gazing hungrily down to, like, you know, figure out. I'm not, like with the Inquisition, I just felt like there was so much unanswered, and this wraps everything up like a perfect epilogue should, but it doesn't leave you a cliffhanger so much as just the option for more adventure, you know? And, like, again, the world is at stake, and what she said at the end, what Erica said at the end was perfect. It was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted to say. It was perfect. And I think I've never done the, like, angry route or whatever, like the hand being raised up. But after seeing Solas, after seeing him, and, like, going through all those emotions, and, like, happiness and sadness and pain and sorrow and anger and, like, fear for what he's gonna do, and, like, hope that you could maybe save him and the world, like, after all of that, after being in the Fade and doing all this stuff with the Alluvians, coming down to deal with these petty people and their grievances was just, it was just these people with petty grievances, and it was like, you know what? This is as good a time as any. Perhaps it's the perfect time. It is the necessary time to start over, because there was corruption in the ranks, and we want to avoid that at all costs, and keeping the group smaller will help that immensely. And you'll be able to trust everybody for sure, you know? Like, it got too big. It was like the Bull's Chargers. Bull likes to know exactly what his, like, who they're sleeping with, and, like, what they're doing and everything. He's like, but with the Inquisition, I couldn't because it was so large. But now it's going to be down, it's going to be smaller, and I will be able to be more personally involved with everything. And, like, it will be, everybody will be a little bit more personally involved and connected, you know? And they won't just be part of this large, faceless organization. Like, they'll be people and friends and connections. And I know that's how it was before, too. Like, everybody, like, they were all part of something good. Everybody was. But, and I liked how it would occasionally bring in little stories from the, like, the small people or whatever who would, like, who had died or who had lived or whoever. And I like that a lot. But this is going to be really, really interesting. And I'm really happy. I'm really excited with it. Freaking heck. I don't even know. I was like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I feel like I have no word. I'm talking too much. Freaking heck. I don't know. I have no words for exactly what I want to express. And during that time with Solas, I can just tell you that I was near speechless, because there were just so many things I wanted to say, but you can't sometimes put the things into the words correctly. Hey, English. I'm not Englishing. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I probably should have said that at the way beginning of this whole spiel. But thank you so much for watching this. I was really excited to rent this Xbox One and play this. It was completely worth it. All of it was. And thank you guys so much for playing this with me. I probably won't finish Descent. I checked the load thing, and I could go back. It looks like actually, but then I think I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to like mess up the saves. You know, like it happened. It ended. I don't know. I just don't like. I know you could. It probably wouldn't really do it, but I feel like I'm good now. And the Descent, I hit a part where I basically hit a roadblock, and maybe someday on my friend's Xbone I'll go and finish it. But for now, I'm completely content with this. But thank you again so much. This has been a really popular series so far, and it's been really fun, and you guys have encouraged me a lot, and I appreciated that. Like, I probably wouldn't have done this, rented an Xbox One and everything, if it wasn't for you guys, because I wouldn't have been able to justify it for myself. But just for the fact that maybe even like 50 people will watch this is like justification enough for me. Even less than that maybe, but it's totally worth it. It was totally worth it. Thank you guys so much. It was so fun. It was a good ride. It was a good ride. Thank you again. I will see you in the next game.